While I was snoozing off, NQ was pumping to the moon. And then we have seen us absolutely drop all the way back down. Okay, so we had our Asia high. If we can zoom in over here, it looks like it's on the wrong spot. 11:45, Asia high. Asia low, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. All right, so we got that Asia high, Asia low. We just took out our Asia low just now. So we are dumping like crazy. We formed a reversal pattern up here. We had our London high all the way up at the top at 330. Oops. London high. And then we had our London low a little bit lower. Let's see where that London low is. A little bit lower down here. Looks like it's at about 230. 230 is that London low. So we came all the way down and we just took out our Asia low on NQ. We haven't taken out Asia low on ES yet, so we have a little bit of divergence. But look at what we formed up here, a bearish breaker. Bearish breaker on the 15-minute up here, high, low, higher, high. Displacement of the lows, okay? So we have that 15-minute bearish breaker up top. Right there. So it's not a bearish breaker until we displace those lows, which we can see we did. Okay, so I'm just going to say 15-minute BBB. Bearish breaker block. All right, good morning, guys. So we are looking very bearish right now. If we look at our news that came out, we had unemployment claims, which we had a little more unemployment claims than as expected. And then our other news that came out was all negative as well. So we're seeing a little bit of a reaction from that. Look at the 4-hour time frame. The 4-hour is coming all the way down. And let's look at some external liquidity down here. All right, so we got external liquidity down here. Let's look at our previous day high and low, which yesterday was not too crazy of a day, obviously, with our bank holiday, but we already took out our previous day high. And we're getting a lot of pullback. So down here we have that daily fair value gap, which I could see price trying to go target if we are going to continue on a bearish trend. I could see us coming down to yesterday's low. Let's just type yesterday's low here. And into that daily fair value gap below. Look at that. All right, so I could definitely see price moving down to that point. If we see a continuation of this bearish trend, I could see that happening here. Look at the 1 hour, guys. The 1 hour is looking extremely bearish. Taking out Asia low. Let's see if we take it out on ES as well so we don't have that divergence. Okay, but just looking at the 15-minute, we are looking very, very bearish. It looks like we want to keep heading down to that level. So, again, not looking to rush into any trades just yet, but I am starting to think about, possibly looking at shorts. But as long as we have this SMT divergence down here, I'm gonna be a little bit more cautious. Right, where ES is failing to take out Asia low, and Q has swept it already. So I'm gonna be a little bit more patient here. But we have been downtrending this whole night ever since we formed London high. Okay, we're looking very, very bearish right now. Like the most bearish I've seen our market look in a little while, so keep that in mind. All right, let's see what the VIX is doing right now. I'm going to pull up the VIX. VIX is pumping here. I'm going to pull up YM. This is on a different screen, guys, if you're confused. YM is getting a little pump right now as well, so a little divergence there. A little divergence between the two. All right, guys, so basically what I'm waiting for is to see confirmation that we are really going to head down to that yesterday's low, and that this is not just going to be a fake out where we're going to just pump for the rest of the day again like we've been doing every single day. Because anybody that has been trying to short this market like the past few weeks has probably been getting absolutely destroyed, right? So until I see like a lot of confirmation I'm going to be very cautious about shorting this market. Okay, but this is starting to look like a pretty bearish setup. We just have to be careful because we're seeing that divergence where ES is failing to take out that low. So got to be a little bit careful about that. Okay, we got this fair value gap above here on the 1 minute. Let's see what kind of reaction we get off this level. 1 minute SIBI there. All right, well, I hope you guys had a good day off yesterday. Hope you were able to relax just a little bit, get your mind ready for today. I recorded video 4 of my course, so that will be out. I'll probably post that one today. Video 4 it's pretty much finished. So that's what I spent a lot of my time doing yesterday. £8 of cherries. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say that's a lot, but I feel like if I was a kid, I would have no problem eating a lot of cherries. Make some cherry pie. All right, guys, so we are trading up into that 1 minute. Again, if we start to disrespect the highs, all right, let's say we start to break structure back to the upside, while having this divergence at the bottom, I'm looking long, guys. If we do that, because then this proves to me that this was just a run on liquidity, and this was just a Judas swing at market open that we're just faking out and going for the highs. I still think we look very bearish right now, but if we were to come up and displace, right, break structure, that's what I would be looking for. I would start to look for the longs. Yeah, this 5 minute candle is about to close. Let's see how this 5 minute candle closes. All right, we've got some highs up here. So just a few different buy side liquidity levels up top. Got a good amount of them all the way up. Then we have that breaker up top. So I do want to see how we're going to react. I would be thinking right now, I would be looking more for the shorts already if ES had come down and swept Asia low. If we had swept Asia low on both NQ and ES, I would be looking more for the shorts already. But since we failed to do that on ES and I see that divergence, I'm being a little bit more patient about it. Going to be a little bit more patient. All right, so we just closed on the 5. We've got a little bit of a gap up here, a little fair value gap on the 5 minute above the order block. Let's see if we want to trade into it here. It's also going to be important to see how the 15-minute candle closes, right? Creating our opening range like I've been talking about lately. All right, so let's just be patient here, and we'll wait for our setup. Oh, give me 1 second. I'm going to stop streaming for just a sec because I am going to connect my Tradevate account for you guys. I'm going to connect that account so that you guys can see my trades on the screen. All right, we're good. Okay, so we just traded into that 5 minute. 5 minute order block, or a fair value gap above the order block. So typically I would like to short from here. I just don't like how ES is looking whatsoever. I don't love how the 15-minute is looking. Okay, so I'm not really ready to just jump into the shorts. typically when I see this setup, when we are very bearish, I see a fair value gap form above an order block. That's one of my favorite entries to take. But I just don't have enough confluence as of right now to jump into this. Not enough confluence to jump into this just yet. Like I said, if I saw ES come down and sweep Asia low as well, and we're continuing that downtrend, I would be looking for the shorts from here already. But I'm not prepared to jump into them just yet. Right, we might want to wait for this 15-minute candle to close. Wait and see what that opening range looks like. And this is why I wasn't ready to short just yet, just because we see price really pumping. We're still pumping. ES is really going here. So ES is already trading up at VWAP here. Let's see if we're going to break structure up here. Right, it's like just when you think the market is going to really drop, and Q starts pumping on you. Right, so this is why even when we see the market looking very bearish, we have to be very cautious about shorting this market, because all we have to do is look at this daily time frame, guys, and just look. Every single day, we haven't had a down close day since the 7th. Right, so it's been a lot of trading days of all bullish days. So again, I'm not loving shorting until I see a lot of confirmation. Right, the hourly looks like we really wanted to come down for these lows, but we're just seeing a lot of pullback here. So I would need to see a lot of confirmation, have a lot of conviction to short this market. Okay, we're about to close in about 1 minute of this opening range, first 15-minute candle. Okay, we displaced this 1 minute fair value gap already. Let's see if we close above the 5 minute. All right, and if we break structure to the upside, we could see price really start going for these highs. We've got a lot of liquidity levels up here. We could see us target that. We could see us target that bearish breaker up top. All right, that 15-minute bearish breaker I was talking about. Look, we're going to break structure already, guys. Pretty crazy. All right, that's why I was not ready to jump into the longs. We saw that divergence, or into the shorts. We saw that divergence at the bottom. As many, like, it looked like it was going to be a nice setup, but when we see that divergence, and we see how NQ has been moving this whole week, not ready to short. So I'm going to start looking for longs here pretty soon. Let's see. So we just traded into this 15-minute fair value gap here, but it looks like longs want to step in. Look at how the 15-minute failed to displace the Asia low. Okay, we just inversed that 5-minute there. So we had news come out this morning, all negative news. And then we've got some yellow folder stuff coming out, like at 11, and then not till later this afternoon. So nothing too crazy coming out for the rest of the day. Okay, let's look at the 15-minute. All right, so let's see if we're going to break out of that opening range. We're in this 15-minute bearish fair value gap here. All right, we swept that liquidity level. So I'm just going to be very patient today, guys. Really waiting for a good setup. All right, we're getting a strong reaction off that 15-minute so far. Off of VWAP, we do see ES pushing way past VWAP, creating equal highs up here. Equal highs over here on ES. It looks like we want to trade back up to that 15-minute. So we'll see if we can start to push through this 15-minute bearish imbalance that we're in right now. See if the longs do want to start stepping in. Looks like they do. I'm going to start thinking about taking the longs pretty soon here. We're breaking out of that opening range to the upside. It's just VWAP in this fair value gap that are keeping me from jumping in just yet, but I am starting to like the longs. Maybe wait for displacement, right? I might want to wait for displacement of the highs before I jump into anything, because we're not seeing that fall through. We're seeing that reaction off the 15-minute bearish imbalance. So I'm not loving jumping in just yet. I would like to see a displacement of this order block here, and then for us to retest that order block. All right, we're also creating a fair value gap below on the 5-minute. So I'm always going to have a bullish bias when we're trading the way we are recently. So I still have a bullish bias. Even, the only thing keeping me from really loving my bullish bias is this downward trend overnight. But we've seen this happen before, and we have traded all the way back up to all-time highs. So I'm going to keep assuming longs are going to be in today until I'm really proven that the shorts are going to step in. Right? So today is very reactionary, just waiting for the market to show us its direction. Yeah, exactly. Higher time frames are still bullish, so I'm still thinking long until I'm proven otherwise. Okay, we are getting that nice reaction off the 15 minutes so far. 15-minute bearish imbalance. We've got this 15-minute bearish imbalance up here as well, where that liquidity level is. And then we've got that 15-minute bearish breaker up top. Okay, so 5-minute closes in about a minute. We're going to have a fair value gap underneath a order block, right? Could be another decent entry level. All right, so I'm really just waiting for the market to pick its direction here. All right, if we look at the 15-minute, we traded above that opening range. Okay, and we're trading right back down, so I'm just going to continue to wait here. Going to continue to wait. Look at that pullback on the 4-hour. Pullback on the 1-hour. 5-minute closed. Okay, so we have this order fair value gap beneath the order block on the 5. Right here. Let's see what kind of reaction we get off this 5-minute fair value gap here. All right, we might start really heading up from here. Again, still not any entries yet. We still see the VIX pumping right now, which is not giving me a ton of conviction to get in the long. So I'm again, that's why I'm just being very patient here, guys. We're seeing a lot of divergence. I'm okay with waiting. I want to wait for the right setup. Don't want to force any setups. Okay, so we're trading all the way down to the bottom of that 5-minute. In the 15-minute, we're really reacting off that fair value gap. All right, but we still have a lot of divergence. Look how ES is trading all the way up top, while NQ is all the way back down to Asia low again, or getting closer to Asia low. Okay, so this is not, we want to be very smart in this type of market so far, guys. This is so far looking like a very manipulative market open, where we're really failing to pick a direction so far. Okay, and that's why you haven't seen me jump into any trades. I want to be very cautious. Very, very cautious here. If we look at a daily level, we've seen price take out yesterday's high, but we have not seen price take out yesterday's low. Like I was saying before, if we're going to keep a bearish market structure, then I would expect price to trade all the way back down into this fair value gap. But as long as we're breaking structure to the upside, I'm still thinking about longs. We'll see how this 1 hour candle closes as well in about 7 minutes. See if we're going to close below these lows with displacement. Okay, we traded back into the hourly fair value gap down here, and we see us bouncing. So again, this is not the market that I'm ready to short in until I see enough conviction, until I see enough confirmation, confluence. We're also going into silver bullet hour pretty soon. Okay, so that's probably when we'll start to see that move for liquidity. Probably when we'll start to see the market start to really pick a direction. So far, just a ranging market at market open. Silver bullet is our 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern window, where we typically go for a liquidity run. So during that hour, we typically will go grab buy side or sell side liquidity. We'll use 1 minute fair value gaps as entry levels, and we see price really accelerate to those, either internal or external liquidity levels. Okay, look how ES is respecting that 5 minute fair value gap, and it's starting to pump. I want to see if NQ is going to start to inverse this 1 minute bearish fair value gap and start to push up for the highs. And that, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm looking at, is that hourly, right? To see if this hourly comes down and displaces the lows, or if we're just going to have that long wick and start to head back up. So I'll just continue to wait for a really solid setup, not looking to rush anything. We still close inside of that 5 minute, just barely, all the way at the bottom though. Yeah, so when we saw NQ come down and sweep our Asia low, that's down here at 20,227.75, and then we saw ES fail to take out the same Asia low. That's when we saw that divergence, and that's when we expect the longs to step back in, which we did see the long step back in, but we're not really seeing a lot of continuation on NQ's part. Yeah, that's SMT exactly. And we still see the VIX pumping like crazy. And we did have negative news, so we might see a drop down to this liquidity level, but again, ES is really keeping us up right now. So all I'm waiting for is the market to just pick its direction, and then I will react to that. See if we want to inverse this 1 minute bearish for value gap here. So I am in no rush right now. Remember, guys, just looking for my A+ setups. Getting a lot of reaction on the 5 minute or on the 1 minute fair value gap, 2 minute, 4 minute fair value gap there. Strong move down. We got displacement on the 1 minute. Order block left behind. Let's see if we react off this 1 minute order block up here. Well, I guess your name is Jane Doe now. You might have to officially change your name to Jane Doe. No, I don't think so. Of course. So we've got about a little less than 2 minutes until this hourly closes, till we get into silver bullet hour. Okay. We are really just failing to pick a direction so far. ES is starting to trade down. Let's see if NQ wants to do the same. So structure on the 2 minute and the 1 minute is looking like we want to head down for these lows. And now we see ES starting to head down. So I'm starting to like the shorts a little bit more here. I still want to give it some time. I still want to wait for this hourly candle to close in about a minute. But it is looking like we're starting to try to head down here. Okay, I'm starting to like the shorts. Again, I'm okay with waiting for this hourly to close here. No need to rush. No need to rush. We still see the VIX pumping. ES just closed below VWAP. Looks like the 5 minute's gonna inverse that 5 minute gap there. So I'm still not on anything yet. Still want to wait. All right, let's see how this hourly closes here. Okay, so the hourly failed to displace, but it did disrespect all of these bullish imbalances. 5 minute displaced this 5 minute fair value gap. So let's see what we do when we trade back into this 2 minute. Now ES is pushing right back up. So just all this divergence right now, guys. Really keeping me patient here. We're also kind of chopping. I do want to see if these shorts are going to come down and grab this level here. Grab those lows. I think there's potential we go grab those lows here. Maybe get another divergence. Again, we're just kind of chopping, struggling to get down to that point. Okay, so the shorts are stepping in. I don't want to chase them. But it does look like they're going to come down to this low here. It can be both. We can see weird price action the day before and the day after. So far, we've just seen a lot of ranging to open up our market today. So it looks like we might want to come down one more time to try to grab this sell side liquidity. Strong 2-minute close there. VIX is still really pumping. Let's see what we do here. Let's see if we want to come down and grab this level before we start, because we might come down here, grab this sell side, and then pump. Again, I'm still not really liking this price action right now. We're still very choppy here. Still very choppy right now. We're just getting constant divergence between NQ and ES. ES is trying to keep us higher while NQ is trying to pull us down. Let's look at the 1 hour. 1 hour's coming back down, right? We're back down under Asia low. Some more divergence. ES is not even close to Asia low. Staying above VWAP. So I'm just not really liking any trade setups just yet. Right, going into Silver Bullet, I like to see a liquidity level swept. And then I like to see price start to create those fair value gaps. Possibly reverse back to the other side. NQ keeps looking like it's trying to drop and take out this low, but it's failing to do that so far. We're not really creating any fair value gap entries. And when we see ES trading above VWAP like this, it doesn't give me all the conviction. The NQ is slowly trying to make its way down to that low. We can see that. Slowly and slowly. But every time we try to make that push, we just come right back up and we fail to go down. So still don't love it. See, we're creating a fair value gap on the 1 minute here. All right, let's say we wanted to get in the shorts from here. What kind of reward are we looking at? Not as good, right? Only about 80 something ticks, which is decent. We do see us trending down. All right, but I would just wait for that pullback into that fair value gap during Silver Bullet hour. Would really want to wait for that pullback. And if we're going to go, right now we're going to go. So ES still has these lows all the way down here that we're not even close to reaching. Well, we are super close on NQ to taking that level out. So still a ton of divergence. We can see we're not getting any follow through here on NQ. See what we do when we trade up into that 1 minute, if we do trade up into that 1 minute. If we get a good reaction off that level, I would look to short down to these lows. But if we don't trade back into that, I'm still going to wait. Yeah, we do have a bullish 1 minute order block here, but that we're still respecting. We are trying to come down and displace it. We'll see if we do. We do have the bullish 1 minute OB here, right here. I'm really just waiting, guys. So far, we're just chilling in our range. We're chilling in our opening range. We've ranged up and ranged back down. But still not really any setups I would have liked to take throughout the range. Okay, so we're going for that low. We might get some SMT again if we take out this low here. Alright, so we took out that low. We got SMT divergence. Let's see if price is going to reverse back to the upside here. Or if price is just going to continue to dump down to that yesterday's low. A lot of divergence. I would expect us to try to trade back up to the top of the range here. Still going to be looking for a good setup. I'm still not going to force an entry. Not going to force an entry, but we do have that SMT again. It's just the VIX, guys. The VIX is still really pumping. All right, so we took out sell side liquidity. Let's see if we want to reverse back to their side, if we're going to continue that downtrend. All right, if we get displacement of the lows and we see prices really trying to head down, then we can look to catch it down to yesterday's low. ES is starting to move. ES is starting to move a little bit more. Okay, so 5 minute close of the displacement there. Close of the displacement of the lows. Still want to see how that 15-minute candle closes. Again, we still have SMT at the lows. So I'm seeing all this SMT. Doesn't make me want to just jump in just yet. Because last time we saw the SMT at the lows, we saw both of NQ and ES pump all the way back up to the highs of the range. We're also not trading into any fair value gaps yet on the 1 minute time frame. We just keep heading down. Okay, so ES is about to take out that low. I mean, if ES comes down and takes out Asia low, we might see us come all the way down to these lows. We're actually seeing a little bit of a breakout here. All right, still don't want to chase the shorts. Still haven't really seen any entries just yet. The only entry I was thinking about taking was up here. That was the only entry I wanted to really take, but I still wasn't ready to take that entry with how ES was looking. Man, we are starting to dump. Okay, so now we're starting to get a little bit more conviction here. We do want to see how the 15-minute candle closes and to see if ES can come down and take out Asia low. Okay, but now we're looking to target these 1 minute fair value gaps and see if there's going to be any retracement into these gaps. Right, we still have that level down here. Yesterday's low. If we can just get some kind of pullback, instead of just continuing to drop. Okay, so we're not really offered any entry opportunities in any of this when there's no pullback into any fair value gaps or any order blocks or anything like that. Okay, you're not going to see me just chase the shorts from here just for us to finally get that pullback and get stopped out. So ES did finally take out Asia low, so we are looking very bearish here. We are looking extremely bearish. Okay, but we just still are not being offered any entry opportunities yet. That's what I'm waiting for. All of these fair value gaps, look how they're all left behind and have not been traded back into. Let's see if we want to trade into this one, what kind of reaction we're going to get. Okay, so we're going to trade into that 1 minute. I would need to see a nice reaction off of it to want to really jump into an entry, because we're creating this range, and now we have all the way from this high to this low. We want to look at that range. Oops. From here. So that 0.5 is all the way up here, so we want to be careful. We want to see if price is going to try to retrace all the way up to the premium. Okay, if we start getting a nice reaction off of that fair value gap like we're seeing right now, I will look to get in the shorts. Got a nice 2-minute fair value gap above. The 15-minute candle is about to close. We're seeing divergence again around ES. The 15-minute might fail to displace that Asia low, while NQ has completely swept it. So I'm starting to think about testing out these shorts pretty soon. Just need to start seeing price drop from here. All right, I'm going to test them out, guys. I'm going to test them out. So very low entry. Again, just going to go in half a lot and just see if we're going to break out from here. And I'm going to keep my stop. Oops. I'm going to keep my stop just above about 50 ticks, 21,6750. And again, if we do something like this where we fail to keep dropping, I'm going to just get out of this real quick. I'm just going to get out because it was looking really good initially, and then we just see price start to reverse on us. So again, I wanted to see that breakout, but we just closed on the 15-minute. So I'm just going to scale out and wait. I don't like that pullback there. I don't like that pullback. I don't like that we closed with divergence on the 15. So that's not a trade I'm looking to take a full lot loss there. Yeah, like we didn't see that fall through. And again, if we drop to that point now, I'm okay if I miss out on it because I wasn't willing to take that loss there after that crazy pullback on that candle. So we might see us drop all the way down, and if I miss out, I miss out. I just wasn't willing to see price come right back up and stop me out there. Yeah, my entry, exactly. Entry was very low. So again, we might still drop down to that level. It looks like we want to. But when I see that aggressive up close, or that aggressive bullish candle forming after sweeping liquidity, we see divergence. I get a low entry. I'm not looking to take a full loss there. I'm just going to cut my loser and wait for a better entry. Okay. If you're still holding on to this, this one still might go down to yesterday's low. It still could go down to yesterday's low. But seeing that reaction there, I just wasn't willing to hold that one. Excuse me. All right, see, we're getting somewhat of a bounce off this 1 minute order block. Again, I don't love getting the re-entry from here. I know I got my entry down here. Not ideal, but you can still catch a decent reward, just not as much as I wanted. Okay, so if we're look at the daily level. This is what I'm talking about, is this daily fair value gap, yesterday's low. That's what price is targeting right now. That's what we see price targeting. So again, a lot of divergence between NQ and ES. ES is moving up while NQ is moving down. So an interesting market so far. Let's see if NQ wants to come take out that low. Looks like we're going for it. Looks like we're going for it here. Look how far away ES is from that low. Like, very far. So we're still going to see a major divergence here. Okay, so we took out that low. So, I mean, yeah, if I held that entry, it would have worked out. Wasn't willing to hold that entry, though. Man, we are really dumping here. Really dumping. So we've taken out an external low. We have major divergence on a daily level on NQ and ES. So this is the point we want to be careful. All right, I'd want to be careful about shorting this. But, I mean, we keep heading down. If you are still holding those shorts from when we got in, this is where I would have taken profit at that low. Maybe still held on to a runner or sold everything down here. Yeah, I mean, ES is still miles away from that daily yesterday's low, so. Okay, so let's say we wanted to see the long start to step in. We would need to see these 1 minute fair value gaps start getting inversed and start to break structure. As long as we're still respecting these 1 minute fair value gaps and respecting 1 minute structure, we're going to see the shorts continue. Let's look at what levels we have. I mean, our next sell side level really isn't until down here, all the way below that daily fair value gap. So if ES really wants to go take yesterday's low, then we're going to see NQ continue to drop today. But seeing ES so far away from yesterday's low and really not dropping at all here, it's really just hanging out. I don't love shorting NQ after taking out an external low. So I'm really waiting now to see if we're going to start displacing any of our bearish levels, or if we're going to continue to respect these bearish levels, and if we're going to see ES start to actually dump. If we start to see ES dump and we're respecting our bearish levels, I will look to keep shorting this. But if we start to see a reversal, Look at how we just displaced that 1 minute. This is what I mean. I'm going to start looking long. I will start looking long. We have this 1 minute range all the way up to the top. Let's see if we want to go up to that 0.5 level. And if we're going to offer any entry opportunities for us, right now we're just running away again. We're just running away again. Not having any retracement. Got the 5 minute gap above. Got 0.5 above of that range. Looks like we want to at least retrace up to that premium. But I'm not going to chase, guys. I will not be chasing. I have to see a good entry opportunity. And this is why I do not short after taking an external low and after seeing major SMT divergence on a daily level. I'm not looking to short that. So I'm just waiting for us to form another fair value gap here, trade back into it, take the longs back up to a premium of this range. All the way back up. You notice the fair value gap, but it was a bearish candle, bullish candle. Oh wait, 1 sec. Okay, so we just traded into that fair value gap. If we start to get a reaction off of this 1 minute, I will start looking for longs. It's got to be a good reaction though. If we're going to trade right through it, I'm not going to jump into the longs. Okay, I'm going to test out the longs here, guys. I'm going to test out the longs with half a lot. Testing them out. I'll keep my stop down below, about 50 ticks below that last candle, 21.42.5. So I'm in half a lot right now. So far, a good pump. Again, probably look to take first TP around 72 ticks up at this high. Or I'd like to add into a full, but I don't have a level to add into a full yet. There we go. All right, we're pumping. We are pumping. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my stop. I'm going to move my stop up to break even here. I'm just going to move my stop up to break even. Make it a risk-free trade. Since I'm only in one contract, I'll probably start trailing one of my stops as we're pumping above. So pretty good entry so far. I do want to catch this up to a premium of this range. We're going to have to push through this 5-minute bearish for value gap here. That's why I moved my stop to break even, because we have that bearish for value gap on the 5-minute. I don't want to see us drop from that level. So if you got into a full, you could look to take TP at this high. So what I'll start doing is if we can continue to pump up, if we don't stop me out at break even, I'll look to just start trailing one of my stops and profit and keep one at break even. But if we're going to drop and stop me out, again, that's why I moved my stop to break even, is because we just traded into the 5-minute bearish for value gap. Just want to play it safe here. All right, we're seeing that reaction off the 5-minute. We want to see us trade up and inverse that 5-minute gap. Okay, so I'm just going to try to ride these longs. I'm going to place one stop loss. If we can pump past this high, I'm going to place a stop loss beneath this candle here for one of my contracts. But I want to see us trade above that high first. Start giving me that confidence or that conviction that we're going to continue in the longs. Okay, we're trying to. We have this 5-minute fair value gap that we're really trying to trade into, but we can see we're getting a reaction off that level. All right, there's that 5-minute. We're still getting a reaction off of it. So I at least want to see us come take out this high, even just to sell at least one contract or just to keep riding the longs. Again, I'm only in half a lot. Okay, so I'm going to place one stop here. Okay, so I've got one stop loss here, one stop loss here. Maybe I'll just sell one here. I'm just going to sell one actually. Alright, so I just sold one. I got rid of that stop loss here. I'm just going to sell one at this high. We've cut over 70 ticks. Okay, we're in a bearish fair value gap. We've taken liquidity, so I'm down to just sell a contract there and just leave one contract in. I'm going to keep my stop at break even for right now. Give it some room to run if it wants to. Either way, made back my loss from that first trade. Let's see if we can get that pump and keep riding the longs. Because we're seeing all this stalling here. When I see the stalling, doesn't make me want to add into my position, and it makes me want to just sell for TP up here, right? At least take some profit out of this trade. I'm looking to hold it up to that 0.5 level. At least up to that 0.5, maybe even higher. Okay, so entry down here. So far we've caught about 80 ticks, 81 ticks. Up to that high is about 122. Alright, so we don't have our stop loss is at break even. I'm just holding one contract. Again, if we can pump through the highs again, I'll just move my stop into profit, but I want to give it a little bit more room right now. And if I get stopped at break even, I get stopped at break even, that's fine. Either way, I made back my losses. So I still want to give it a chance to really pump here. Like that. Let's see if we can get some follow through, push through that 5-minute. There we go. I'm going to move my stop into profit now. So my stop is now in profit. I'm just holding one runner. Okay, if we come back down to this level, probably don't want to be holding this anymore anyways. Move it down. So my stop's at 21.5950. And I'll keep riding it. I'm going to trail my stop up a little bit higher. Stop is now at 21.64. Let's see if we can push through this 5-minute, guys. Let's see if we can do it. I mean, so far on this trade, we've caught almost 100 ticks. Almost 100 ticks. All right, I'm moving my stop all the way up to the bottom of this candle. So 21.72.5 is my new stop. I'll just keep riding this contract as high as we can take it. Okay, we're almost up to that premium. Let's see if we want to head up all the way to this gap up here. There we go, guys. So that's that TP level I was talking about. We just hit that full TP if you guys want to take full TP. I kind of want to keep riding this long. So I'm just going to keep trailing my stop as when we keep pumping. Okay, I'll move my stop loss up again, all the way to the bottom of this candle. I want to get it to the point to where I could maybe at least have my stop loss where my full TP was. So either way, I'm catching that full TP. We'll see though. See if we can keep pumping from here. Again, my stop loss is trailing very close now. Seems like we're going to keep pumping. So we're above that 0.5. We're in a premium of that range. We're still in the 5-minute fair value gap. We do have another 5-minute gap up top. Let's see if we can keep pumping before taking out my stop. 139 ticks we've caught so far. Right in these longs. Okay, I'm going to keep riding it until I get stopped. I'm just going to keep trailing my stop. Every time we can make a nice up close candle, every time we start pumping on the 1 minute, I just move my stop to the bottom of that candle. Yeah, right. Always wish I could have added into a full, but again, wasn't ready to add into a full and didn't really have a pullback that I wanted to add into a full. So this is what I do when I'm not able to add into a full. I just ride it and try to catch as much profit as I can. So let's see if we get stopped out here. Again, I could keep riding this long and keep my stop all the way at break even, but I'm looking to just take my profit when it's there. And all right, so I'm out of that position now. So I made back my losses and made some good money on that. So I will take that long right there, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Who caught that one with me? Who caught that one with me? Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Patience pays. Patience pays. Let's go, Tony. Let's go. Hey, that's what it's all about, Glenn. That's what it's all about. Okay, so let's keep looking at what's going on here. So, like I said, guys, when we take out an external low like the daily level and we see major divergence on a daily time frame, I'm looking for price to start to reverse a little bit. Now we see that we created a 15-minute fair value gap above an order block. We might see price start to head down from here. Let's see. Let's see if price wants to head right back down. We could start looking for the shorts back down. We might see these shorts really start to step in here, guys. Look how we created that 15-minute fair value gap with that order block we traded above, and we're getting a strong reaction down. We're seeing ES start to drop here. Again, I'm not going to just jump into them because we are, showing we did take out the external low, and we do have a lot of SMT. So this technically, I was expecting, right, that silver bullet because we came down and we swept external liquidity and then we reversed. So yes, it would be silver bullet going to go grab buy side liquidity. So let's see if price wants to continue to trade up and continue to go grab buy side. Or if we're going to start to reverse back down here. Again, not crazy profits for me because I didn't add into a full, but still pretty good. Still pretty good there. All right, so I only made like $547 on that because obviously I didn't add it to my full position. But guys, I will take $547. I mean, do you guys know how much that is if you made that every day? Like that's a six-figure income right there, guys. Yeah, I don't mean to say only. I shouldn't say it like that because $500 it's good money, guys. It's good money. It is good money. The only reason I say only is because if I was in my full position, it would have been a little bit more than that. But I will take the profit. Okay, so we're still getting this bullish trend continuation here. Again, if you're still holding these longs, we might see these longs continue. Right, we are back into a premium. Let's see on the 5-minute. We've got that like 5-minute order block here. Let's see what we do when we trade into it up here. Okay, but we continue to show this bullish structure. ES is trading right around VWAP again. And Q's long ways away from VWAP. So I'm just waiting to see if these shorts want to step back in or if we're going to get that continued trend to the upside. We caught that long at a perfect time there. Perfect time. Yeah, we have this big 15-minute gap right above the order block. 15-minute order block up here as well. So we really could see price come right back down, just depending on what ES wants to do over here. Depending on if ES wants to go for yesterday's low or not. If ES wants to go for yesterday's low, we're going to see NQ drop a lot of points. But we are so far away from yesterday's low on ES, I don't know if that's going to happen. If it does, though, like I was saying, we could see NQ drop like a lot. So we'll see if that happens or not. We'll see if we're just going to come right back up and balance this range. Right. Either way, I'm happy with that trade. I think that was a great long we caught. We caught it around the perfect time. Just waited for that confirmation, waited for us to displace a 1-minute bearish gap and then start to respect the 1-minute bullish for value gap. As we started to do that is when I got that entry. And then we got to catch the longs all the way up to a premium of that range. So that's exactly what I was trying to do. So now just waiting to see what price wants to do here. Okay, if we come down and break structure and take out this low, we could look to take shorts again. We could look to take shorts all the way back to this low down here. But if we continue this bullish trend, I would be still looking long. Okay, don't go throwing away your profits though. It's got to be a very solid setup for me to take another trade here. Very solid setup. We can see the 15-minute over here on ES. We're respecting that fair value gap. So I'm just kind of waiting to see what NQ wants to do. VIX is starting to head back up again. Yeah, that 5-minute fair value gap, exactly, right? Up here. We displaced this 5-minute. But also looking at that 15-minute. So price is just kind of stalling right now. Just kind of waiting to see where it wants to go from here and then looking for another entry. Again, I don't need to take another entry, but if I see another good setup, I'm going to look to take it. Okay, but if you're happy with, your profits, you caught that good trade, you caught that long, you do not need to keep trading. If you want to walk away now and keep your profits and not allow that temptation of over trading to happen, then just walk away. Don't feel the need to keep trading. Don't give your profits away if you're not trying to give your profits away. Everybody should be in the green a good amount here. And then a good amount is just all relative to your account size and how much you're looking to make on a daily, on the day. But everybody should be up pretty good. So basically, if we're looking at those 5-minute fair value gaps, I wouldn't say one's more important than the other, but we are looking at the range. So we do want to see price trade back up into a premium, right? That's what I was talking about, catching the longs up to a premium of this range, which is above this equilibrium, the 0.5 here. So I would be looking at these fair value gaps a little bit more. I wouldn't, that's why I was willing to long inside of this bearish fair value gap, because I did expect us to go up to a premium. So I don't find this fair value gap as important when we're seeing such a pullback move. I would be looking at the ones above that are in a premium. That's what I would be looking at. Of course. So we're continuing this bullish trend here. Like I said, I could have kept my stop loss at break even, and I could be right in this one contract all the way up if I wanted to. But not really what I was looking to do, guys. Looking to just take that profit, and keep my profit instead of allowing price to come all the way back down and stopping me out. There's going to be certain days where I'm willing to keep my stop loss at break even and just ride it, and just risk it all the way up or all the way down. Today, really just looking to take my profits on these trades, especially since I only went in half of my full position size. Like, let's say I went in my full position size, I sold 75%. I might be more willing to hold one contract on that, right? But since I only went in half my position size, I'm really looking to take all the profit I can get. Okay, so we're just kind of chopping here. We just closed on the 15-minute. Still inside of that big bearish fair value gap. So I'm not going to take any trades inside of this chop. Just wait for price to make its next move. That's what I'll do. I'll just be waiting for price to make its next move. So after trading into a premium, okay, I would expect NQ on a bearish day, typically to try to come back down. We can see on the daily level, we've taken out both the high and the low now. So we might just see us range inside of yesterday's candle the rest of the day, or we're going to see us actually break out and continue that trend, right? And if we see ES start to really drop, then I would expect NQ to really drop until, maybe ES reaches yesterday's low, right, which is all the way down here. So for me to want to get into the shorts, I would want to see us at least break structure and see ES really dropping. All right, so this would be that break of structure, that low right there. And then I'd want to see the VIX really pumping. Yeah, exactly. So we're still in this little range here. A little bit of a choppy range. ES yesterday low I have at 5541.50. 5541.50. Got you. Okay, so we're starting to head down back to the bottom of this little 1 minute range. 1 minute fair value gap above. There we go, Tony. Keep those profits, man. Keep those profits. Go get yourself some gabagool. Don't give back the gabagool money. I got you. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Go say what's up to Christopher for me. All right, so we're kind of just chilling in this little 1 minute range we've created. All right, so I kind of like where we got out. I mean, we haven't really pumped past those highs. So I'm happy with where I took profit. So I don't really love getting entries inside of this little 1 minute range. Yes, looks like it's trying to head down. We're seeing price move kind of slow now. So let's see if we want to really break structure and come back down to the lows. Again, I don't want to get an entry inside of this price action. Okay, if I was going to short, I would need to see us break structure. If I'm going to long, I would need to see us keep that bullish structure and continue to push past the highs and show me that we're really going for buy side liquidity. This is why I don't get an entry inside of this range. Until we can break out of this chop. Okay, so we displaced that 1 minute. Okay, longs are starting to step in again. Let's see if we can break structure. Or not break structure, but continue that trend upwards. All right, so we have that 5 minute gap up here. Up above that 0.62 level. Still not breaking out of the range though. Still haven't displaced it. Still have not displaced this range. We wicked above, come right back down. 1 minute fair value gap below. Let's see if we respect that gap or not. Looks like price is targeting that 5-minute above. All right, not a lot of reward up to that 5-minute. We still haven't broken out of the range, so I still don't love getting an entry here. If I only see like 40, 50 ticks of reward to that next level, right, that next key level, and we're sitting in a range, I'm not going to jump into an entry. The 15-minute looks like it wants to keep heading up. Let's see what the VIX is doing again. VIX is still heading back up a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not looking to force any entries, guys. I would need to see something really good if I was going to get another trade. If I'm going to risk any of my profits, it's got to be a very good setup. Yep, 100%. But how many people do you think right now are forcing a bunch of trades in this range and getting chopped up? Probably a lot of people. Probably like, oh, shorts are coming back in. They get in the shorts and then they get stopped out. They're like, oh, longs are coming back in. They get in the longs and they get stopped out. Right, just back and forth. That's not what we do here. That is not what we do. There we go. See, we're improving. We're improving. Yep. I mean, it's a very normal thing. It's a very normal instinct. Yeah, especially after you've won a trade already, or if you've lost a trade already, you're like, I want to either make more or I want to make back that loss. So I'm going to keep trying to force trades in this, and it doesn't really work out. Yeah, what Chris said. Post those profits, guys. Post those profits. Want to see your guys' progress. Want to see what you guys are doing. So we're almost to the end of the hour here. And look at that pullback ever since we took out yesterday's low. A lot of pullback. Just like we said, when we take out an external level, we expect either a reversal or a strong retracement move. It's exactly what we saw, and we were able to capitalize on it. All right, so that yesterday's low was an external level, higher time frame level. So let's see if these longs are going to continue to step in. Okay, we're almost up into that 5-minute fair value gap up here above that 0.62 level of the range. So one of two things will happen today, guys, in my opinion. Either we will continue to range for the rest of the day, and we'll just range kind of up and down. Or we will see a big market dump. Right now, it doesn't look like we're going to get that market dump. Looks like we're going to get more of a range. That's what I think will happen. I don't think we're going to see the longs come all the way back up and take all-time highs again. Not in my opinion. I think either we are going to get a strong, continue that downward trend, or just range up and down. Okay, so we're now in that 5 minute. Yeah, we keep getting divergence between ES and NQ. We do see the VIX dropping again. Looks like these longs really want to step in. Okay, so this is that New York AM range, would be up to here. Up to that first high. So we're still in a premium of that AM range. So we've gotten that reversal. Doesn't look like the longs are trying to stop though. So at this point, I might just wait. To take any other trades. If I'm gonna take another trade, might just give it some time. Maybe wait for that London reversal time. Maybe even wait and see during that lunchtime macro. If we're gonna see any other moves. Okay, what I don't want us to do today, guys, is to throw our profits right back into the market just because we're eager to take a trade. I want us to work on really keeping our profits and only taking our A+ setups. All right, so I thought about taking the longs here, but I didn't want to take them when we were still in that range, right? So it wasn't an A+ setup for me, so I didn't want to take it. And you don't see me getting FOMO about these longs because I understood this wasn't a trade that I was willing to take at the time. But I can be happy with the fact that, okay, it would have been a good trade. I had the right analysis again. Right, we're seeing those longs continue to step in up to that 5 minute. But I'm not going to get FOMO. Okay, because the second you start getting FOMO is when you start to chase the longs. You start to chase price. You start to take bad entries. And then before you know it, you just gave your profits back from a great trade right back to the market. So it's not what I want to do, and I don't want you guys to do that either. So we just closed on the hour. Look at that pullback on the hourly candle there. Right, so we caught a lot of that. We caught a lot of that long. We are moving up. So we could see these longs come all the way back up to the top of the range. What was your purpose of staying long instead of taking the fair value gap for short? So it's because we saw that major SMT divergence on the daily level, right? We see ES not even close to taking out yesterday's low. NQ took out yesterday's low and then started to form that reversal pattern, respecting our bullish levels, right? We kept respecting our bullish levels. So I just assume the longs are going to step in until I see a break of structure back to the downside. As we're seeing right now, we're still seeing the longs stepping in. And they are really going. They're really pumping here. Okay, but like I said, probably going to wait to take any more trades. I'm going to give it some time. I'll come back, look at the charts, see if there's another good setup. And if there is, I'll call it out to you guys. Okay, but I'm not going to sit here and stare at my charts and keep trying to force entries or try to chase price just to make more money. If I end the day with where I'm at, I'm completely happy with that. I'm content. Okay, so I'm going to end the session here. I will be running an educational session, and then we will have our platform session. Again, if I'm going to take a trade, I'll let you guys know. I'll call it out. Okay, so I'll be looking for trade setups still. But anyways, great trading today. Okay, hold on to those profits. All right, guys, I appreciate you a lot. We'll be back for some education. Keep those notifications on if just in case I do hop into a trade and I'll call it out. All right, well, I'll talk to you all soon. God bless. Peace.